He called me earlier. It's like, yo, when you spar, I'm gonna come to the gym. I'm like, I'm gonna spar at 4 o'clock. I really didn't think he was gonna pull up, but he pulled up. It means everything. His advice and listening to him in the ring. He calling out little. I'm trying to make sure I do what he says. So, a hell of a blessing to have Bud, Floyd, all these guys backing me, and I appreciate them. I'm just trying to keep pushing and keep getting better.
Most skillful fighter at 135 will be hands down Shakur Stevenson.
Hearing that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has been spending time working with Shakur Stevenson ahead of the Teofimo Lopez fight doesn't feel like a publicity move. Instead, it comes across as a clear message about the level of preparation and intent going into this matchup.
Oh, it was so amazing. It was, but now I'm kind of so used to like,
regular.
Yes, it feels so normal. Like, honestly, that's why me and like Floyd is so like close now, because it's like I'm a genuine person, and he don't like he like genuine people around. So,
do you think he sees a lot of you in himself?
Yeah, he do. I know he do. But like I said, I feel as though I appreciate them guys. I appreciate them. I really don't even look at them like how everybody else look at them. I look at them
friends.
Yeah, like it's like cool.
Floyd Mayweather, Shakur Stevenson, and Terrence Crawford aren't just familiar figures in the gym. They operate on the same wavelength. Their approach is rooted in timing, discipline, and a deep understanding of what truly decides fights. Floyd's presence in Shakur's camp, alongside Crawford, isn't about attention or control. It's about sharpening skills that are already dangerous. He isn't there to change who Shakur is as a fighter, but to fine-tune the subtle details, the small adjustments that turn close rounds into clear wins without drawing unnecessary attention.
So Floyd, when you think about the fighters who are fighting now, can you give me your 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 when it comes to the lightweight? The lightweight, who you would put where?
Well, you got guys fighting between 130, 135, and 140. They stack, around that area. So, I mean, as of right now,
skills that pay the bills.
The most skillful fighter at 135 will be hands down Shakur Stevenson.
And what is it about him? Because I know he have a lot of good attributes, but do you think he has enough power to sustain?
Well, it's really all about skills. Pernell Whitaker wasn't a huge puncher, but he was, very exciting, very tough, and he fought everybody. And Shakur is trying to do the same thing. He want to fight the best they got.
Footwork, efficient shot selection, and defensive balance when pressure rises. These are the details most casual viewers miss, but fighters feel immediately. That's where Floyd's influence shows up. He's always been willing to share knowledge with fighters who truly respect the craft, not out of obligation, but because he recognizes how rare real discipline is at the elite level. He understands exactly what it looks like when boxing is done the right way. For Shakur, Floyd's presence isn't about imitation or legacy chasing. It's about reinforcing a mindset. Remaining composed when the opponent turns up the noise, staying precise when the stakes are highest, and trusting that control lasts longer than emotion. Applied consistently, discipline doesn't just manage chaos, it breaks it.
What's the sort of last couple from me? What's the sort of best bit of advice he's given? You've obviously got so many people you can call on. You're in a very fortunate position like that. You've got a strong team. What's the sort of best bit of advice he's give you in this game?
A lot of advice he would give me is like boxing related, and he always wanted to show me like little tricks and little things that I could take with me. And that's why I fuck with Floyd heavy, because a lot of people be hating on him, but they don't understand he really like a real dude. And it's even crazier. A lot of people be seeing him like when he around, he come with like 15, 16 people. Wow. I swear he had to be at the gym with like 2 or 3 people. chilling. It was a normal vibe for him. It was regular. He was comfortable, and I think that side of Floyd, I think that's the side.
When top-level fighters begin exchanging knowledge instead of guarding it, it usually means something serious is coming together. And once it becomes known that Floyd has been working privately to sharpen Shakur's game, the focus naturally shifts to a fighter who has already experienced that level of intensity from the other side.
Shakur is an amazing fighter. You know, he's going to have a great career. Crazy skills, good boxing ability, and I will always be proud of him, always. You know, that's why, even like Shakur, you know, I had a chance to train him the other day.
Ideas and theories can sound convincing on paper, but nothing compares to real rounds in the ring. That's where Jamaine Ortiz becomes important to this discussion. What stands out about his perspective is the calm confidence. No exaggeration, no performance. He isn't drawing conclusions from highlights or analysis alone. He shared the ring with Teofimo Lopez and understands firsthand what that level truly demands. So when Ortiz says he slightly leans toward Shakur Stevenson, it isn't bias, it's reasoning. He's pointing out that cutting off the ring is easy to explain, but doing it against a fighter with Shakur's movement control and awareness is a completely different challenge.
Rather have the winner of the two. So, I mean, who do you think wins that fight? I mean, do you think Shakur will be able to?
I think Shakur would win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We know Shakur's a great boxer, and we just seen what I did to Teofimo, so I think Shakur will be able to box him out.
I couldn't help but smile when he said that training camp confirmed exactly what he already believed about Teofimo. Because in boxing, that's a quiet form of respect. No shock, no intimidation. What Ortiz is really suggesting is that Shakur excels in those uncomfortable moments, when punches fall just short and frustration begins to set in. The key takeaway is clear. Hitting Shakur isn't out of question, but doing it consistently will be a demanding task.
Hopefully during training camp they learn how to cut off the ring. We'll see. You know, I think I don't. It's gonna be hard for Teofimo to get in some punches off on Shakur, but we'll see.
That's boxing honesty at its purest. No hype, no exaggeration, just an acknowledgement of how difficult the task really is. Ortiz then shifts the focus back to himself, speaking about making his own statement on the same night, which reflects a true fighter's mindset. The message is clear. When someone who has felt Teofimo's power and timing firsthand still identifies Shakur's control as the greater challenge, it carries real weight. This matchup isn't about flashy moments. It's about positioning and control. Who can stay within their comfort zone, and who gets forced out of it. When a fighter with direct experience says, "That's going to be tough," it isn't noise, it's a genuine warning.
I guess asking you, being in the ring with Teofimo, was there anything that surprised you with him in terms of not the success you had, but like, was there anything you thought would be harder or anything that he did that you didn't expect?
No, everything, training camp went so well for that fight that everything I seen, I already expected and seen it coming.
After Jamaine Ortiz offers his calm, measured assessment, the kind that lingers in your mind, Greg Hackett enters the discussion with a completely different energy. His perspective flips the tone instantly. Ortiz lays out a thoughtful blueprint. Shakur winning through footwork, composure, and smart decision-making. Hackett, however, serves as a reminder that boxing doesn't always follow a script. He isn't focused on subtlety. He's focused on consequences. One perfectly timed shot can change everything, and in that moment, Teofimo can turn order into chaos. That contrast between careful strategy and sudden eruption is what makes boxing so fascinating. A sport where two opposing truths can exist at the same time.
I like Shakur for the dub. I like Shakur for the dub because he knows how to win. Like, he knows how to win. You know what I'm saying? And he's always prepared to win. So, and I think Shakur respects Teo to the point where he gonna train like he's never trained before. Because this is a great fight for him. This is probably the best fight of his career up to date. Even though he's been in some great fights, this is probably the best of.
Yes, Shakur is sharp and notoriously hard to hit. And yes, Teofimo has the ability to explode with combinations that can unravel even the most careful game plans. When Hackett talks about sustained pressure, high output, and forcing doubt into an opponent, You're hearing a coach outline a completely different fight than the one many analysts calmly predict that's the unavoidable truth of combat sports. One sudden surge from Teofimo can flip expectations instantly. That's why Hackett's perspective carries weight. He doesn't romanticize boxing. He zeroes in on the raw mechanics that decide fights. My view? This matchup goes beyond style contrasts. It's a battle of resolve wrapped in technique.
I work on the opposite. So what I hear you saying is, when you tracking a guy down and getting out of the habit of loading up one shot, that means you got to take smaller steps and put smaller shots together. You know what I'm saying? So in a sense where Teo like to jump, you got to stop that jumping. You know what I mean? Take smaller steps, inch in behind smaller jabs, smaller.
If you're looking for precision, Shakur is the model. If you want sudden disorder and frantic exchanges, Teofimo is the force that disrupts the rhythm. The fascinating part, and the one I debate rather than wager on, is how thin the margin really is between him taking over the night or getting methodically outboxed. One small mistake, a slight misread, or a moment of overcommitment from Lopez can shift everything in an instant as oh yes, Ortiz's measured approach deserves respect. But Hackett's warning about chaos can't be ignored. This fight is set to swing between control and volatility, with momentum constantly changing hands. Each round will feel like its own judgment, and the real question is which version of reality ultimately prevails.
I mean,
does the best version of Teo have to come out to be Shakur?
Not just the best, it got to be the unheard of version, the version we have never seen. You know what I'm saying? It got to be different. I'm telling you, he can't approach Teo like he approached everybody else. He can't approach Shakur like he approached everybody else, and he can't approach Shakur like, all right, I did whatever I had to do and can't. He gonna fall to me. He gonna fall to my. It don't work like that with.
Right after Hackett brings the chaotic energy, the AOY breakdown lands like a quieter but sharper force, a voice that draws you in because every word matters. Listening closely, you enter the zone of uncomfortable truth. No hype, no fear, no unnecessary praise, just raw pressure. The message is clear. Early Teofimo is a serious threat. Late Teofimo is unpredictable. And this is an opinion, it's film study. Seen this way, the fight feels less like a steady climb and more like a ticking clock. Teofimo doesn't rely on 12 rounds of luck. He depends on fleeting windows that open fast and close even faster. The analysis doesn't glorify his explosiveness. It treats it as a weapon. The question isn't whether Teofimo can land punches. It's whether he can make Shakur react before the rhythm falls into Shakur's control. Once that happens, you're not just facing a fighter, you're facing a system. That's where the idea of a fatal flaw becomes real. It's not about lacking skill. It's about operating within a razor-thin margin for error.
I'm looking at him like if I'm Teofimo, the reason I took that fight is because I say if I get in the same positions, I can get into those spots where I can hit Shakur clean. Can Teofimo hurt Shakur with one shot? Can he hurt him clean? He hasn't been a killer, as much of a killer at 140. And after Cambosis, he hasn't been the same, in my opinion. But he's still explosive and still dangerous in the first 7 rounds. You get what I'm saying? First 8 rounds. So I think it's a good fight. I like the fight, actually, because of that. Teofimo got the explosive punching power on his side and good athleticism. And Shakur has, superior boxing IQ, good range, good distance. So it's great. It's good boxer versus good athlete at this.
Then there's the other side of the equation. The part that makes you pause and think. Not all pressure in a fight is physical. Shakur Stevenson isn't just facing punches. He's facing expectations. And sometimes those weigh heavier than any blow. Okoye captures that tension perfectly. Winning isn't enough anymore. The demand is to dominate, maintain control, and avoid doubt or criticism. Operating under that kind of pressure is rare, especially for a fighter whose style thrives on controlling chaos rather than creating it. This is why predicting the fight is so difficult. Teofimo needs to turn the opening rounds into a storm, while Shakur must demonstrate that storms can be contained. One is working to generate disruption. The other is proving disruption can be managed. What makes this analysis compelling is its objectivity. It doesn't pick sides emotionally. It frames the battle through timing. Early rounds favor danger. Later rounds favor order. The real question is what.
I think Shakur, like a lot of fights, he needs this name in order to silence a lot of the naysayers. Because people talk a lot of shit about Shakur, especially after the De Los Santos fight. I don't think, you know, the Zabata fight took it off of him, even though they tried to make it seem like, yeah, you know, it should be off him at this point. I don't think that fight was the one. I think Teofimo is a name that will shut everybody up if Shakur can go dominate.
When you step back and look at the full picture, Floyd fine-tuning the craft, Ortiz calmly highlighting the tricky spots, Hackett warning about chaos as if it's part of the plan, and AOY quietly tracking the clock, it becomes clear. This fight isn't about being right. It's about surviving your own truth. Teofimo thrives in explosive moments. Shakur thrives in measured minutes. One excels when everything erupts. The other excels when the noise fades. That's why predictions only go so far. Each round asks a new question. Can Teofimo force urgency before Shakur establishes control? Can Shakur drain confidence without ever showing aggression?
And make it a rumble early. He got a chance to get Shakur for sure. You know what I mean? But his is going to come from blunt force trauma, not attrition. I think Shakur is obviously the dominant of the two in regards to class. He's in a different class. But a fight is a fight. So if Teofimo can punch you in the mouth and change that game plan, then he got a shot. But he got to do it.
Now it's your turn. Share your thoughts in the comments and dive deep, because this is a fight worth analyzing. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more breakdowns. I'll see you in the next one.